Welcome to the second episode of the Career Backups podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Ethan Parrish. This is Ethan Jones bringing you an Ethan Squared edition. How are we feeling, Ethan?
We're feeling good. I mean, I'm excited to watch Luka tonight. We actually have I was about to say the Mavericks game. Oh my Lord. We had sorry Maverick fans. We have the Lakers game up right now on the TV, so we're gonna be watching it while talking. So if we get distracted, if my jaw drops, it's because Luka's dropped 40 on the Jazz and dunking all over Nico Harrison.
Yeah. So it's February 10th, 9:33 p.m. So we're gonna be talking while the Laker game's going on. I'm assuming we'll talk about Luka's debut in our next episode.
Yeah,
probably.
maybe if we see something crazy happen on the TV, we'll mention it, but probably more about how Luka looks with the Lakers will be more next episode.
Yeah, I like it. Today we're going to be talking NBA. Yesterday was the Super Bowl. We're leaving that for an episode that's going to come out later this week with Samuel and Chris.
Yeah, I think they're going to cook.
So that's it. Talking NBA, we're going to talk about AD's injury coming out with the Mavs in his first game. We're
just a bunch of NBA news, honestly.
Yeah.
We'll just kind of go, and then at the very end, I think we'll talk about our midseason playoff predictions. You guys haven't heard our playoff thoughts, so we're just going to give them, all-star break playoff predictions.
All right, let's jump into it. Let's do it.
Before we do that, I have a quick question. I know we said don't talk about the Super Bowl, but I kind of wanted your thoughts on the halftime performance. I'm a big halftime performance guy. That's one of my favorite parts. I like judging them a lot. What did you think?
See, I do appreciate rap music. I like rap music. Yeah. It just doesn't perform well. I think. So if we could get more to the pop and the country stuff, I think maybe rock.
Yeah, I feel like that performs a little better.
Different. Yeah. What do you think? I thought it was better than what a lot of people said, but
I feel like it was just middle ground. I think Kendrick did a good job. I feel like there was a lot going on. He was moving a lot, and he was pronunciating. I can't even pronunciate, but however you say that. Yeah. He was saying his words very well, despite, moving around. He wasn't Usher sweating Usher last year was just sweating bullets. That was crazy. So I think he did okay. It just felt because it was all centered around the Drake Kendrick beef, Serena Williams was there, SZA was there, his Drake's exes or whatever, they had whatever relationships with Drake. I'm just kind of tired of the beef, honestly. At this point,
old news.
It was kind of in the moment you're oh, Kendrick, you dunked on Drake, that was crazy, all your songs. But at this point, I'm dude, I'm kind of tired of those songs. Give me something that's not just breaking down Drake. Now that I'm a Drake fan, it just felt not like us and all those other...
It's overkill.
So that was my only problem.
All right. I like it.
I have another question. Who do you think should be the performer next year?
Well, I thought it should have been Taylor Swift this year.
Yeah, you're a big Swiftie.
Well, my wife is.
No, you are too. Don't deny it, bro. You can't be you got to be public. You got to be proud.
You know what? You're right. I'm coming out Taylor Swift fan.
Okay, good. You finish that sentence.
Maybe.
I was scared. We can't finish it right there.
In a future episode, we'll do top 10 Swift songs or something,
or maybe music artists, because I'm not a Swiftie.
Oh, okay.
I know I just lost half our audience, but that's okay.
Yikes. Yeah, big Swiftie audience so far. So, yeah, I don't know.
You think Swift should be the one next year?
Maybe next year,
because she does perform well, so it would be a good performance.
I will say I went to her show in Scotland and it was legit.
Oh, you went to Scotland to watch her?
Yeah,
dang, bro.
It was cheaper than anywhere here, United States side. So, yeah, man, we went to Scotland.
That's kind of incredible.
Yeah, long weekend.
So you that she would do good is basically what you're saying.
Well, also the Super Bowl halftime show is super short.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe there's an artist that's better, like a Chris Stapleton or
okay.
I don't know.
I don't know if country would straight country would fit with the Super Bowl. It just doesn't seem to fit. But someone like Chris Stapleton would do really good. Yeah. But would it fit? I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out. I have a name, but I can't remember his name.
I think my top one is Post Malone.
Ooh, that one would be good.
I think he'd be really good because he has the country, he has the rap, he has a tiny bit of pop things here or there. He has so many he's really good in his songs at bringing in guests or bringing in artists and really utilizing them well. Where they really shine, but they shine alongside Post. And so I feel he could do some country, he could do some rap, he can do some pop, and then bring in people like Taylor Swift, Travis Scott, whoever you want. He has so many different people.
That'd be kind of crazy.
So
it should be Drake.
What I wanted to happen is like Kendrick played, and then Drake came in halfway through and played with him. And it was like they said this was all a joke. We were having a good time, and they just like that'd be the greatest halftime performance of all time.
You know, Teddy Swims.
Yeah,
that's the guy I was thinking of. He might have to come up with a couple new songs for that to happen.
Yeah, he only has like a few like big songs, but if he gets like even bigger this next year, like I think he would do good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess I don't have a lot of thoughts on performers.
That's okay. So, mine's Post Malone. We'll say yours is Taylor Swift. Teddy, is it Teddy Swims or
Swims? Yeah.
Okay, Swims.
So what did you do for your Super Bowl? Did you go to a party or watch it at the house?
I actually didn't watch the Super Bowl. I boycotted the Super Bowl. So I just kept up on my phone. So what I did was I first went to Panera Bread, got some food, and then I watched Dog Man. It was like with a bunch of friends. I watched Dog Man. It was like a animated PG movie, like a kids movie. But we went and watched it. It was actually really funny. But I kind of boycotted it because I hate the Chiefs so much, and I thought they were gonna three-peat.
Wild.
And then I also don't like the Eagles. But you know, we saw what happened.
Okay. Well.
So I should have no opinions, but I rewatched the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. I didn't watch the highlights. I went and rewatched the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. So.
I like it. Yeah. You know, we were watching it at the church, and then we decided to come home a little bit early, and we were trying to find a place to pick up chicken wings for the second half.
Yeah.
You know? And everything's, you know, busy or wasn't taking orders.
Yeah. Except
for one.
What was it?
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks? Crazy.
Yeah. So we drove up, and I sent Trent in.
Yeah, smart move.
And she walked in, and she goes, "Oh, it was crazy in there." She gets back to the truck. It was crazy in there. But the wings were really good. Definitely would recommend.
Okay.
For the wings, not the peaks.
Okay.
But the wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'll just send someone else in to give me the wings. That sounds good to me. Okay. I think we transition to the NBA.
Let's do it.
I think the first thing I kind of want to talk about, which is kind of sad but also kind of like ironic, is the Anthony Davis injury.
Yeah. So do you have the official injury up?
I need to look for it. That's something I should have prepared.
Yeah, so it was a soft tissue groin injury, grade 2 or 3. We're going to figure out soon, but he's going to miss.
Yeah, left adductor strain, which is, around the groin area.
Yeah, so he's going to miss multiple weeks. Which it really sucks for the Mavs.
I feel like it's just ironic.
It's super ironic.
Like you literally trade, like okay, Anthony Davis was cooking before.
Yeah. What did he have? 24 in the first half?
Yeah, maybe 24, 26, something like that. And he was cooking. I had like Mavs fans telling me that they were like, you know what?
They're like, wait,
Luka was fat. Great trade. Like people were saying that, and then. He comes out and he has a non-contact injury. Like, it's such an Anthony Davis thing to do. Like, I feel bad for him, but it's just like, you said you didn't want Luka because of conditioning, because of injuries. First thing Anthony Davis does in his debut, looks great, and then gets an injury.
Yeah. No, it sucks. It's hard to see where they go from here. I don't know what the lineup will be after this. And, you know, he's going to miss a lot of weeks. The Mavs are kind of down in the standings right now. What are they, like a game out of 8th?
Yeah, the West is kind of all like just muddled. Right now they are 8th.
Oh, they are 8th.
Yeah, they're 8th. And then the Kings are 1.5 games behind them.
Okay, they're a game and a half out of 11th. So 11, 10, 9. So the Golden State Warriors, Suns, and the Kings are a game and a half behind them. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really only have Kyrie as a creator, a guy who can score his own points. That's gonna be rough. Lively's out.
I mean, they were winning games without Luka, but this is basically the lineup before. Yeah. Because Luka was injured for a bit, and they were winning games, so I think they'll be fine to make the play-in.
Plus Christie.
But Christie was good, but we'll talk about Christie in a second. Like, I think they'll still be fine to make the play-in. I just was hoping I thought with Anthony Davis, they're going to like elevate to make a playoff seed, and I think they're going to be stuck in the play-in now, is my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's a decent chance that they fall out.
I don't know. I don't. Well, I guess there's the Spurs and the Warriors, and the Kings Spurs, and the Suns below them.
They're 4 games ahead of the Spurs right now, so pump the brakes on that. But Golden State's a game and a half out. Pick up Jimmy. Jimmy's been playing all right. Kind of a weird lineup. We were talking about it before the show.
Yeah, it's a little whack.
He's the tallest player on their starting lineup.
But Jimmy's a unique player where he can, like, it's not like he can play any position, but it just feels like he can fill any role. Like, if you need rebounding, he can get that for you. You need defense, he can get that for you. You need scoring, which is the cool thing about Jimmy, is he can really do anything you want him to. But yeah, having Jimmy as your tallest player in your starting lineup
not ideal.
Is not good when you're going to play a team like the Mavs, who were really big before Anthony Davis got injured.
Yeah,
and other big teams. Celtics are pretty big too.
I mean, just look at the West. What team would you want? Would you want him to be your base player against? Not OKC.
Yeah.
Not the Grizzlies. Not the Nuggets. Not the Rockets.
Yeah,
maybe against the Lakers.
A lot of the top teams have like a star center. Like Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson's maybe not a center, but he's a tall. Like it's like one of their best players is a big.
Well, even Edie.
Yeah, Edie's big too. Nuggets, obviously Jokic. Rockets, best player Şengün. The Clippers use Zubac a lot.
Yeah, he's good. You got Gobert and Reed. You got Sabonis.
Suns got nothing. Wemby. Yeah,
Maybe.
There's a lot of big, like great bigs.
There are
in the West. So one for the Warriors, that's tough not having a great big. And then also for now the Mavericks, like they still got a big, so they're chilling. But it's hard. It's hard to lose that defense.
Well, they're going to have three of them, so.
Yeah, so they still have Gafford and, what's his face? What's his name? Derek Lively. They have Gafford
he's
and Lively.
Injured. He's out.
How long is he out for?
I don't know when he gets back. They were hoping like a month before the playoffs, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so yeah, he's out for a while.
So yeah, he's out for a while. Minnesota's been playing well recently. I could see them stealing a top 6 seed. I think the Lakers will probably start to struggle, even though Luka is... as of right now, walking on the court for tip-off. I just think the lack of a big is going to show.
Yeah, the fact that Mark Williams trade didn't go through is really going to sink them, I think, in the playoffs and in this run.
Yeah.
Because Jackson Hayes can't be your starting center, or Christian Wood is the other option. Like this, you can't do that.
So speaking of which, who is Mo Bamba the most eligible
player to sign?
Yeah, is he the guy?
I guess so.
Or would you have signed Ben Simmions?
No.
To be your starting center?
I think you signed Mo Bamba. I don't know, because he's not better than Jackson Hayes. Really, there's not great centers in the market.
No.
I don't think there's been any good centers that have been bought out, and I don't think there's going to be really any incredible centers I can think of. I may be wrong. We'll see as the...
PJ Tucker?
Still like that.
6'5" PJ Tucker?
I think you need, especially if Luka, who's great with the lob threats, you need a center.
Yeah.
And so that's why the Mark Williams trade was or being rescinded was so disastrous, I guess.
Okay, so on that, I saw that tonight, right before we started filming, the Hornets are looking at all avenues to get that overturned.
Okay. So
there's hope.
The Hornets really didn't want Mark Williams to please, we do not want him. It's not the Lakers looking for all avenues. It's
they got a good package for him.
Yeah.
I would have taken that.
I believe in Dalton. Low key.
I like Dalton.
Next JJ Redick.
A 31 first.
That could be really valuable. There's Luka now, but you never know. I saw
an Instagram post. It was a Mavs fan. He's like, I'm just hoping he comes back in free agency.
That would be the craziest gotcha moment in NBA history. Him and Nico had a deal under the table.
Yeah.
He let's say he plays terrible for the Lakers the next 2 years, intentional, and then he just goes back to the Mavericks and is like, I got you guys all you needed. Now we got Luka, Anthony Davis, Kyrie, and the crew.
It made me think of a Spurs story.
Okay.
So the Spurs were really, really good in the 90s, okay? They were pretty good. Okay, so you got Robinson and Avery Johnson, some of those guys there. Well, Robinson gets hurt, so their big guy gets hurt, and the season's done.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it was Avery Johnson. It may have been somebody else. They trade him away to tank.
Yeah.
Okay, they get the first pick in the draft, Tim Duncan. In free agency, they get the guy they traded out back.
Avery Johnson?
I'm pretty sure it was Avery Johnson.
Bro, that's crazy.
Immediately when the, 99 title or 98?
Yeah.
Something like that. Hey.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Crazy things have happened.
Everyone's been dunking on him. Did you see how the owner even reinstated it? It was I support this trade.
Yes.
I don't remember what he said, but it was something crazy. I can't remember.
Well, he said like all of the great players in history
That's
have had a crazy, awesome work ethic. And he listed off like Kobe, MJ, Magic, like some of those guys. And then he said Shaq. He's like kind of known for not doing that.
That's so wild. Yeah, let's see if I can get rid of the ads on my screen. If you look at the greats in the league, the people you and I grew up with, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Shaq O'Neal, they worked really hard every day with a singular focus to win. And if you don't have that, it doesn't work. And if you don't have that, you shouldn't be a part of the Dallas Mavericks. So he basically said Luka has no work ethic.
He's a loser. That's what he said.
Yeah, this like defame tour of Luka's name needs to stop. Like this can't like you just hated the dude. Just admit you hated the dude.
Yeah,
move on.
It's pretty obvious they didn't like the guy. I thought maybe it was just a Nico and like upper management kind of thing.
Yeah.
This looks like it was an all the way around kind of a deal.
Which is crazy. Like I don't know what Luka did, but
I guess he's too fat, man.
Yeah, crazy. Okay, I have one more piece of news I want to cover. Ben Simmions going to the Clippers. What do we feel about that on the buyout market?
I mean, Ben Simmions has been good. He's not the all-star, like all-NBA level guy that he once was. Actually, I don't know if he made an all-NBA team. Did he? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he made multiple. I thought.
Maybe.
I'll go look it up.
But anyways.
I think he's a 3-time. Or no, he's a 3-time all-star maybe. Let's go look.
Yeah, go look at it. I'll just go for a second. But, he's a good defender still. Can get you rebounds, can move the ball offensively, be a secondary playmaker. I think coming off I don't know if he'll start for the Clippers, but I think, I would have liked like the Spurs to go get him. I think he can be a backup big.
Yeah.
And I think he's a very unique player because I still think he's athletic enough to play some point too. So I don't understand why he couldn't be like a rim running big kind of a guy.
I think the problem with Ben Simmons is it's the effort always.
True.
Like in theory, like let me go to his old stats. Like, let's see, what year? He made one All-NBA team and it was third team All-NBA. And that was in 2020. So let's go look at his 2020 stats. He averaged 16.4 points per game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, so close to a triple-double, and then 58 from the field.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't shoot threes, so we're not going to talk about threes. So, in his peak, he's such a, his passing was incredible. He could rebound well, and he's athletic enough to be that lob threat for, James Harden now that he's in the Clippers offense.
Yeah.
He has that ability, but since he missed that layup, or didn't take that layup in that Hawks playoff series, Buddy just stopped trying in basketball.
It haunts him to this day.
And now, this season, he's been better this season than the previous Nets years, but he's only averaging 6 points per game, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds on 54 from the field.
I don't really, with Ben Simmons, I'm not super concerned about the points.
Yeah, points are not the most important. And so he's doing good on the assists, but rebounds is not really great enough to be a full-time center because it just feels like he doesn't put quite enough effort in.
Well, I'm like in the offseason, I think the Spurs should try and sign him as a 4 backup 5 kind of a guy because I think he can do some rim protection stuff. Okay. And I think he gives you passing that you don't have from the Castles of the world.
Yeah.
The Vassels. I don't know. I like him. I think he's actually built some value up. I think he'll probably get a tax mid-level kind of a deal. So what is that, 12-7? Yeah. I think he'll get something like that in the offseason. But
I'm just concerned with his work ethic. Instead of Luke, I'm concerned with Ben Simmons' work ethic.
He's fat.
Which that's kind of for the future. But I think it's for on the Clippers. It's kind of nice because they didn't really have a backup center that was great. You had Drew Eubanks.
Hey, put some respect on my boy's name.
Eubanks is good. I think they traded for Eubanks recently, I thought, but I may be wrong about that.
Yeah, from the Jazz. They also have Patty Mills in that deal, I believe.
Yeah, and so will be okay, but really Zubac was the only guy playing center minutes. And I think Ben Simmons, James Harden pick and roll, because James Harden's been great in the pick and roll with Zubac, could be kind of interesting. They're both really good passers.
Oh.
And with James Harden passing in this offense, Norman Powell has been elevated. Derrick Jones has been elevated.
Kawhi's coming back.
So I'm kind of excited to see like what that looks like with Ben Simmons and James Harden.
Yeah, they're 6th right now. The Rockets have been on a little bit of a slide. Lakers have been, I think, will probably go on a slide. So let's see, man.
Yeah, I think the Clippers, like, I don't think this team is, or this move just makes them all of a sudden better or like incredibly worse. But I think it'll, especially in the playoffs, if Ben Simmons playing, I think it'll help them with some more playmaking and just like creating open shots and backup center minutes, which you just can't have Zubac out there the whole time.
Yeah, well, I think he also provides defense. He can do a little bit of rim protecting, but also like on ball. Like, okay, I mean, theoretically, Clippers make it to the finals. You're playing Boston. We do this a lot, but who's guarding Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum?
I mean, you have Kawhi guarding one of them.
Yeah,
if he's healthy. I guess you have you. I don't like Ben Simmons guarding one of them. I just don't trust Ben Simmons like to put in enough effort when the moments matter most. Okay. So that's why I don't think this deal's like crazy either way, because I think he'll contribute in some small ways, but I think in the brightest moments he's not going to be on the court.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to be like a vital piece to a championship contending roster.
I guess do you have Derek Jones guarding one of them? Like, he's athletic, but he's kind of big.
No, I'd probably put Ben Simmons on Tatum.
I don't know. I just don't think you could keep it in for 30 minutes on the offensive side with no shooting.
Yeah, well,
unless you take Zubac out, which you need Zubac, because Zubac's been really good, especially with James Harden.
I'd have to think about. Yeah, you really can't play 2 non-shooters that late in the.
Chris Dunn could guard one of them. He's small, but he's been one of the best defenders in the NBA.
Yeah, but he's not a great shooter.
Yeah, so maybe you stagger like just random minutes. I mean, Chris Dunn's 6'3", so probably not tall enough, but he can annoy Jaylen Brown. So he'd probably be on Jaylen Brown, and you put Kawhi on Jason Tatum.
So Jaylen Brown's 6'7".
Yeah, but smaller defenders can kind of annoy them. Maybe put Ben Simmons. I think you just got to stagger minutes. In that scenario, you just got to see which player is defending the best. If it's Ben Simmons, you keep him in. If it's Chris Dunn, you keep him in. If Derek Jones is doing great because he is athletic.
Yeah.
Norman Powell, I don't think you're going to probably match him up against them, but maybe he's having a good defensive series.
Oh, I forget they got Bogdan.
But yeah, he's not really a great he's not a defender, but he's going to be really good off the bench scoring and shooting.
They have Batum too.
But Batum's so old and so slow.
Oh no, I'm not throwing those as names. I'm just I just wasn't expecting to see those. Okay, yeah. So I think a good 7th man, 8th man kind of a guy, get you 15, 20 minutes a game. I think he can be decent.
Yeah,
I think he can.
He'll contribute.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to our main event. I say we predict the playoffs. We give our All-Star break-ish playoff predictions. And I think we're just going to go down, predict what it's going to be 1 through 10. We'll just go back and forth, and then we'll predict our champions.
I do want to say, first off, though, Trae Young has made an All-Star game now.
Oh, did he get?
He's a replacement for Giannis.
Who was the other replacement?
I didn't see the other replacement.
Okay, because what's his face? Anthony Davis got injured. Was it Anthony Davis? Yeah.
Well, Giannis too.
Yeah. Let me see.
I didn't even think about AD. I just saw that Trae Young got one. Probably LaMelo. Well,
Kyrie.
Oh, okay.
So they just put in their Mavin. That's kind of weird. I think LaMelo low-key deserved it, or Sabonis, or Norman Powell. Like, you should give it to Norman Powell. Like, he's never gonna have a season like this ever again.
No, he's 31.
Where he's All-Star level. Give that man an All-Star. Kyrie's this is his 9th one. He doesn't need another one.
No, he doesn't.
And he hasn't he's been good, but not that. I'm kind of mad. I'm not gonna lie.
He's been better than Luka this year.
Yeah, but give it to Norman Powell. Buddy deserves it.
Speaking of which, Lakers are winning. I think that's a 16-11.
Yeah, so the screen we're watching is flipped around, so we can't tell what's going on quite. But that's okay.
All right, so let's get into it.
I say we start east, and then we go west.
East, west, okay.
Who's your predicted number 1 seed? I think we are gonna have the same one, considering. Yeah, you just give it to me. 1
seed Cleveland.
Yeah,
they've been playing well. I think 5.5 games ahead of Boston. I think I mean, they're a good regular season team. They're going to be hard to stop. I think the worry for the Cavaliers is, like we talked about the last time, who do you have guarding the two great wings? Unfortunately, in the East, you actually have like a couple teams with big time wings, and the Magic too. I know the Magic are going to be down a little bit, but and they've been sliding back.
Yeah, but I blame it on injury. But
I think they'll be back too. But yeah. So I just think their defense is so good, but there are weak points, like point of attack defense. How are you going to defend wings consistently? All things I want to see as we enter into this final stretch before the playoffs and then into the playoffs. Yeah. What about you?
I think I have the Cavs too. I mean, they're the best in offensive efficiency with 122 points per 100 possession, which is so good. And they're also 8th in defensive efficiency. So they've been good on the offensive and defense side. And I really think that addition of DeAndre Hunter is really going to help them when they play the Celtics, probably in the conference championship. And when they play those bigger wings, DeAndre Hunter really helps. But you really got to depend on Donovan Mitchell to like defend the wings well. Which he can. He can. He's kind of inconsistent with it, but he has the athletic profile to do that.
Yeah, I'm just afraid he's going to get overpowered.
Yeah, no, that is scary. But then the problem is you can't really score inside against them. Like when you have Mobley and Allen, it's to beat the Cavs, you're gonna have to beat them on the perimeter. And so like it comes down to perimeter defense, and like you can't really oversize someone perimeter defense wise. I mean, you could shoot over people, but I think that really aids towards the Cavs versus the Celtics in a playoff series is that like they're going to beat them on the perimeter, which the Celtics can, but at least someone like a Jason Tatum can't go overpower Donovan Mitchell in the post because you have Mobley, you have Allen. So
I think we should do a power rankings later on.
Yeah.
Okay, would you take Cleveland in a series over Boston?
No, I would take Boston.
Like Boston in like 6, right?
6 or 7. I mean, the more like beginning of the season, I was like, okay, Cavs, they're gonna struggle in the playoffs. But the more and more I watch them, the more and more I'm impressed. Especially some of the shooters they have off the bench, like Ty Jerome, Dean Wade has been so good. I think they're gonna be a really hard team to stop offensively. I know we're talking about like how they got to stop their teams defensively. Like their posts are gonna do great for that, but they're so hard to stop offensively.
I know we're talking a lot about their posts, but they actually need a backup big.
Yes, that's true.
And they're not going to get one.
Yeah, which does hurt, but I think when you have two posts like that, and you have you could put Dean Wade at the 4 and roll out Jared Allen at the 5 or Mobley at the 5, so you can kind of stagger their minutes to keep that like good 5 in there.
I wish this was the team I wanted to get Ben Simmions, because I think
he would have been nice for them. I think.
Yeah, he would have been good. He would have been like he would have been big for them, but
we can still watch the buyout market and kind of see what happens.
Yeah, I just don't know that.
Yeah. Okay, number 2, for me, it's the Boston Celtics. I'm guessing you have the same, or you think the Knicks are gonna catch up?
So Knicks are 3 games behind. So I'm gonna go Boston 2. I think they're sleepwalking right now. Get to the playoffs, see what happens. You got a nice 6 or 7, 8 man rotation you can run. So I guess it's really 8, but yeah, I think you can get a pretty good 8 man rotation out of them and kind of just mow down anybody. I mean, I don't really see anybody who gives them huge problems. But
yeah, I mean, I think they're just kind of sleepwalking, like you said. Like after you win a championship and your team was like so dominant, sometimes the regular season doesn't seem as appealing, or you don't want to put as much effort because you're like, we're just gonna turn it on in the playoffs. And I feel like this like starting lineup is one of the greatest I've like ever seen, period. Like I think they have like arguably like 5 top 50 players. Maybe Drew Holiday's kind of falling away from that, but I think last year they definitely did. And the fact that they have that's crazy.
Yeah,
like you don't see that.
I'm with you.
And so like I think as soon as you get the playoffs, they're gonna be near unstoppable again. You have Peyton Pritchard off the bench. And he's great.
Horford.
You have Horford. You have a lot of good players off the bench. So yeah, I think the Celtics are going to cruise in the regular season, get the 2 seed, and then I think they're going to do really good in the playoffs.
Would you take this starting roster over the Warriors starting 5, like the lineup of death?
Oh no, that lineup of death was different. Like you had Steph, who was a top 5 player at that time, Kevin Durant, who was a top 5 player, and then you had Clay, who was definitely in the top, like not top 5, but probably like top 30, something like that. Somewhere around there.
Probably.
Draymond, who was really good at that time too.
Well, he was like the 3-and-D wing.
Yeah.
But I guess Kawhi was also playing, so I don't know.
And then you have Andre Iguodala, and he was really good at that time too.
Draymond was good. They had some interesting bigs. McGee was there for a little bit.
What's his face?
Zaza?
Not Zaza, but there was like a really good backup guard that they always had. That was
Livingston.
Yeah, Livingston. Like Sean Livingston, for some reason, in random playoff games, returned to like prime Kobe Bryant. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, he
here?
had a sick mid game.
Yeah, he was really good.
He was good. Yeah, Zaza Pachulia will remain forever in my memory.
Because when he injure Kawhi, was that? Yeah.
Dude,
I hated that guy. I hated the Warriors.
He single-handedly ended the Spurs dynasty. We were up like 30 in the third quarter.
Hey, you do have Wemby now. Would you, like, let's say you go back in time, would you change that moment if you knew Kawhi would stay for the rest of his career?
No.
So you would keep the same, go through the misery just to get Wemby?
I would, but I would also like to add, I think we would have won the finals that year.
No, I still would choose the Warriors, but it would have been close.
I don't know, man. Kawhi was...
There was
different. A stretch there where Kawhi was the best player in the NBA. And
on the Raptors, he was the best player in the NBA, and that years before Spurs.
Yeah, well, he finished like second or third in the MVP odds. I want to say that year before he got injured, and I mean, best defender in the NBA.
Yeah, he was the best in the world.
Great scorer,
especially Raptors year. He just was.
But that's me as a Spurs fan and a kid who grew up wearing his jersey. So, 3.
I'm gonna take the Knicks.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty easy.
Really, the top 3 in the East is kind of cemented for the playoffs, unless Pacers or the Bucks go on a crazy run, or the Pistons, which I seriously doubt. But the Knicks have been so good, second in offense efficiency.
Okay.
So like really good offense, and then defense. They've been 17th in efficiency, so the defense has been okay. Yeah. I think a part of that is they play all their players like 40 minutes, like all their starters. Which
Hart's out there playing like 42 minutes.
Yeah,
a game.
Tom Thibodeau saying, Mikal Bridges, you've played every game in your NBA career. Play 48 minutes now every game.
They're shooting them up with drugs before they go out there.
I don't know what's happening to them, but I mean,
that crazy.
Their starting 5's really good.
Yeah.
Like maybe I would say, let's say the 4th best starting 5 in the NBA, but I don't know, maybe 3rd best. So I would take, when Thunder is healthy, I'd take them. Celtics, I'd take them when healthy. But I could take maybe the Knicks over the Cavs starting lineup. I really think so.
I think it just fits better for the modern NBA, but the thing with it, I'm going to be really interested to see the Knicks in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You got Cat. I mean, you got Mitchell Robinson coming back in theory, but is he... I don't like the rim protection.
Yeah, no, that's why their defense has been bad. Because before they had Mitchell Robinson, they had Isaiah Hartenstein, and their defense was locked down. Because when you have a good rim protector, your whole defense is elevated. Like that's just like if players can't get to the rim, like it makes the rest of the game so much harder.
Yeah.
And now they can get like their perimeter defenders, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges are so good, but without a rim protector, that scares me.
So I want to see that. But yeah, elite offense.
Yeah, maybe I'd put their starting 5 probably maybe 4th best, competing with the Cavs. But because offensively they're so good. But yeah, I'm scared of the defense.
I have a question. Who are the centers that you would replace Cat with to make them the best team in the NBA?
Ooh, that's actually okay.
Is the only answer Wemby?
Wemby's one of them.
Or at least a more serious title contender.
I think I would take Chet.
Okay.
Because I love Cat, what he's been doing for the Knicks. But Chet can shoot the 3 ball a bit. He's good offensively, but his defense is so good. I think you're sacrificing some offense, some shooting with Chet. And that's okay, but I think it's like overcome by the fact that he's such a better defender. So I take Wemby, Chet. I take Jokic. I mean, that one's like you always take Jokic.
Fair enough. Could you play Giannis at the 5?
Yeah, I'd take Giannis. Like a player like that, yeah. I'd play Giannis at the 5. He's a good enough defender.
What about...
I'd take Embiid, healthy Embiid. So this is a theoretical realm.
No, that doesn't exist.
So then no Embiid. What about you? Is there any other centers you're thinking of?
Maybe... Man, it feels wrong I'm saying this. I would think about Bam.
Oh, that's actually a good one.
Let me just look at the...
The only thing I don't like about Bam is he can't shoot the 3.
He's been shooting a little bit more this year.
Yeah, but it's not like Cat, and that's been like so good for their offense. But I may take Bam. I'm not gonna lie.
What about Jaren Jackson at the 5?
Ooh. I mean, he's such a good defender. What's he been doing from 3 this year? Let me go check his stats, because that kind of determines a lot for me.
Or would you take? I probably wouldn't do Sabonis.
Yeah, Sabonis would feel clanky in the offense.
Yeah.
Hey, I would take Jaren Jackson. He's shooting 5 threes a game and shooting 37 from 3. Like, that's so good for
So those
a
are
big.
the guys we take over Cat right now?
Yeah, so that's like 6 or 7 guys.
Okay.
And I think Cat's a better player than some of those guys, like if I rank them.
Yeah.
But for the fit with the Knicks, yeah,
I
think I'd take
rim
those guys.
protection, man.
That's really going to be, especially the Celtics with like big wings. Once again, we bring up the Celtics a lot, or the Thunder with their like driving wings and guards like J-Dub and Shea. Like, if you don't have rim protection, they're going to beat you up down there.
They need Robinson bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it kind of gives them another look, too. So, like, okay, theoretical second-round matchup. Probably not going to happen. But, or maybe, I guess this would be your conference title would be, let's just say Boston clunks out. So you got Knicks, Cavs.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you could, if Mitchell Robinson gets back, you can run a kind of a cool 2 big lineup there.
Do you think, let's go now, they're playing the Celtics. Do you think in their like final like fourth quarter moments, the biggest moments, does like what's the lineup they run? Do they run Mitchell Robinson and
They
Cat?
call a timeout every time the ball switches hands.
What do you think they should run?
Yeah, I think it just depends on who they're playing.
Let's put the Celtics in there.
Yeah.
Say they're playing the Celtics, who are going to have wings, who are going to be driving.
I would probably do. I'd probably keep Cat at the 5.
Okay.
But I think. Oh man, that's hard.
Do you take out like a Josh Hart? Do you slide OG up, take out Josh?
Yeah.
Put Mitchell, Cat, OG, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson? I miss Josh for his rebounding. Like, his rebounding and the things he does, like the hustle plays, are like so invaluable. But maybe in the biggest moments, you got to stop that rim. Like, those rim, or not rim running, but those like rim attacking wings.
Maybe that is what you do, and you move, because I assume Holiday would be a part of their closing 5. And so what you do is you put Cat on Holiday, because they don't use him a lot.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's what you do. Then you don't really have to help a lot off the ball.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's who you, I don't know.
But the thing with that lineup, they'd switch on Cat as much as they could.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I guess that's what I would, well, I guess maybe that's.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm a little scared of the Knicks in the playoffs, is when they play the best teams, do they have that like rim protection?
You know, I think I would keep Cat in at the 5.
Okay.
I think this is the best offensive team in the league, and you just got to say, screw it. Let's just score more than the other guys.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you got to do. So.
Okay. I like it. What are you thinking for the 4 seed in the East? This is where it gets interesting, because like really a bunch of teams could switch places here.
Yeah. I kind of feel weird, but I'm just kind of going down the lineup. I'm going to go with the Pacers.
Okay. I like it.
Offense is down a little bit this year. Defense is probably never going to be great. Actually, their point differential is 0.6. So, East is definitely weaker than the West, but
yeah, the Pacers are 21st in defense efficiency. So yeah, it's never going to be great.
I just don't love the Bucks right now, and then I think it's asking a lot of a young Detroit team. And then you start going behind that, and it's just a lot of games back. You got the Heat. I mean, they got better after the Jimmy trade just because Jimmy wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Now you get Andrew Wiggins plus some. And then you got, the Hawks. The Magic have been on a slide. Like, are we really betting on them? The Bulls, I don't think are going to make the play-in. And then the 76ers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm going the Pacers.
I'm actually going to go the Pacers, too. I mean, we're following each other right now. But I was looking up a remaining difficulty of schedule, strength of schedule.
Sure.
And the Bucks have the 6th hardest. So it's really, I think it's between the Bucks and Pacers. The Bucks have the 6th hardest remaining schedule, and the Pacers have the 21st. Their opponents, the remaining opponents, have a combined 49.1% winning percentage. So I think the Pacers and Bucks are pretty interchangeable. Bucks have obviously have the higher star power.
Sure.
And Giannis and Dame, and that's scary. But they have some really bad, some really big holes and just weird lineup things for the Bucks.
Okay.
And I think the Pacers are a more complete team while they don't have the star power. When Tyrese Halliburton's playing really good, which he has recently, the start of the season was awful.
He was slow.
That man looked like a scrub. I'm a big Halliburton guy.
They just paid him,
and then he said the classic pay and I'm gonna stop trying thing.
I'm a dip.
But I love their lineup because they have it's just a lot of pieces that fit. You have Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, who's really been one of the best defenders in the NBA this season. And then you got Mathurin, Siakam, Turner. It's just a lineup that just works. And I feel like the Bucks, though they have the star power, their lineup's just more clinky. And now they have Kuzma to make it even more clinky.
I have a question. If you're the Pacers, would you have traded Siakam for KD straight up?
Ooh.
Because you kind of need...
Let me go look at... Let me look at Pascal's age.
But KD might be a better fit.
So,
but it would be a short-term deal, and you're not getting free agents to Indiana.
that's the thing about Indiana. You don't get free agents, so you got to make the deals through trades.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I would trust Katie to sign. And Pascal,
no way.
And Pascal, how long of a contract he has?
I think he just signed 5.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
5 years.
Let's go see what he signed.
I think it's 5 after this year.
Yeah, he has a 4-year.
Oh, 4 after
4 year after this year, so it's through 2027.
Okay.
And though Pascal's a flawed player, and he's not perfect, he does everything well, but nothing great. It feels like with him. I don't know. I don't want to trade away Pascal and then get a rental KD that's not going to give you a championship. If they had KD, they would probably go up right below the Knicks and say where they're at already, and say I'm gonna compete with the Knicks. But in no world are they beating the Cavs, the Celtics, and I don't even think the Knicks. So I feel like it doesn't move the needle enough.
Okay.
What do you think? Would you take that trade?
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe.
Okay.
No. Actually, no. I wouldn't take it for the same reasons. I think you just got a longer window with Siakam. So, yeah.
I think they do need to make a trade at some point.
They're gonna have to find a way to pay Miles Turner
because they have Halliburton, which Halliburton in his peak, when he was in his peak, let's hope he stays there because we're seeing he's inconsistent.
I like him, man.
He's a top 25 player, I think, maybe even 20. Especially last season in his peak, he was definitely a top 20 player.
Yeah.
And so that's great, but you need one other player like that.
He's better shooting, bigger, Trae Young-y kind of a guy.
Yeah.
So,
which is really good when he's in his peak. Maybe even a better passer than Trae Young.
Maybe.
The key is where are you going to get that other player that's Tyrese Halliburton level? And I think you keep a Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
So maybe he's a trading chip for a younger Kevin Durant kind of thing.
Well, man, this is his team, isn't it? So I don't think he's going anywhere.
Siakam?
No. Halliburton.
Yeah, I'm saying we're for Siakam to package him for another Halliburton, as in another top 20 player. Yeah. I think you wait for a different deal. I think you got to trade him at some point, but I think it's a deal for a younger player.
If you're the Pacers, would you trade a Halliburton for Maxey?
I wouldn't, even though I love Maxey.
What about Fox?
I like Halliburton better than I like Maxey about the same as Halliburton, maybe Maxey a little better, and then I think Fox is below those two.
Right, but interesting.
If the Spurs had the chance to get Maxey or Halliburton, I would have chosen them over Fox. What about you? You're a Spurs fan.
Yeah,
what
I
would you think?
too.
Okay,
I would too. I would maybe have more trouble trading Fox or Halliburton, but Maxey's just younger. So.
Yeah, but so is Halliburton. Halliburton's
He's 24, 25?
Yeah, and Maxi's not like...
Maxi's 23, I guess, so not
Maxi's 24.
Maxi's 24?
Yeah.
Dang.
And then, let's see what Halliburton ages.
I mean, yes, 26.
24.
Dang.
They were in the same draft class. I forgot about that.
They were?
Yeah, they both were in the 2020 draft class.
Huh.
So,
all right. Everyone's questioning my ball knowledge right now.
Hey, I didn't know their exact ages, so you're chilling.
All right, so I want you to go 5 first.
I'm taking the Bucks. Because I think while their lineup, like I said, is clunky, like besides Dame and Giannis, like it feels like they have, I mean, Brook Lopez is good, but it feels like they have no one.
Okay.
And so like that just scares me for them getting over maybe the Pacers or the Knicks, which they have the chance to do. But I think those stars will carry them enough to like keep the 5th seed. I'm trying to look at their offensive efficiency. I can't find them, but I don't think they've been super great offensively. Yeah. They're 12th offensive efficiency.
That's not bad.
Which is not bad, but they just haven't been good, which is what you want from a team with Giannis and Dame. They've also been 11th in defense efficiency. Like, it's just been a disappointing team, this Dame-Giannis pairing.
Well, Dame was old, man.
Yeah, I didn't love the trade, but I guess you got to make it to... I don't know if you had to make it. It just...
No, you didn't have to make it.
Like, unless Giannis was considered leaving and he was like, give me a star.
You absolutely didn't have to.
Like, you could have waited.
Yeah.
You could have waited for a younger player that made more sense with his timeline.
You could have... I mean... Like, I think they gave the Celtics their championship. Because they moved Holiday to Portland.
Yeah, no, that was crazy.
And Celtics trade for him, and he was like the perfect dude.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, yeah, they may have won it without him, but that was a huge part of it.
Yeah,
so
like I don't know if they necessarily got so much better with Dame over Drew Holiday. Now Drew Holiday's old, so like, yeah, I get it now.
Their defense got so much worse.
Drew Holiday was like, he was the glue that held that defense together.
Yeah.
And now, like, they used to be like a defensive juggernaut. I think their championship year, they were like third to first in defensive efficiency.
They're high.
And now...
Well, you had Brook Lopez, you had Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Like, you had 4 high-level defenders on the team.
And now they only have Giannis.
Yeah.
And they brought Kuzma in, high-level defense.
Ooh.
Nah, Kuzma's... Oh. Did you see his first play?
Yeah.
As a Buck? It was a turnover, and I was like, oh, Lord. I was defending that man our last podcast. I'm never defending Kyle Kuzma ever again. Ugh.
He hit a buzzer beater, though. I think it was a first quarter buzzer beater.
Okay, well, that means nothing. If it was a fourth quarter, I'd been like, I'm back on the Kuzma train. Get me back on there.
With my 5th, I want to change it up. I'm going to go Pistons. Yeah, my 5 is going to be the Pistons. I think Cade Cunningham's a real dude. I love the spacing that they got around him. I like Duren. I want to see him put it together, be more of a defensive force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but love the shooting around him. I wish Ivy was healthy. I wish they would have gotten another trade for another guard. But I do like the fit better than I like Milwaukee's new fit with Kuzma.
Yeah.
And that's why I have Kuzma. That's why I have Kuzma and the Bucks down at the 6. But yeah, man, I'm a big fan of the Pistons. I think this is Cade's coming out year. Big year for him. I think he's going to get paid too. So
yeah.
What do you think about the Pistons?
No, they're my 6. I'm a big Pistons guy. I'm a big Cade guy. Yeah, Cade is just like been so good this year. I remember there were so many people doubting him last year.
Yeah.
So many people were like, nah, this guy, he's not the guy. I'm about to drink a giant gulp of water. I'm dying here.
Golf King.
But I apologize. But yeah. A lot of people doubted him, and like the problem is he didn't have spacing around him.
Yeah.
Like he was asked to do everything, and now that he has Malik Beasley, who's shooting like 41 from 3, 16 points a game. Tobias Harris helps space the floor.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway Jr. helps space the floor.
You know, Harris was a huge pickup.
Yeah, which was unexpected. Like I was like, that pickup's kind of mid. Like, no, it helps so much.
Yeah, they you know what's funny is the 76ers just replaced Harris with a higher paid Harris. Basically.
Yeah, who doesn't play. So it's worse than Harris.
Yeah.
And Cade Cunningham, he just like manipulates the game. He just like is very slow, very methodical. He just gets his shots he wants. He gets the spots he wants. He gets the passes he wants.
Yeah.
Kind of in the James Harden vein. Doesn't do it the same. Obviously, he's not taking those step back threes. He's not like the same as James Harden, but he just takes his time, takes slow, has change of direction, change of pace when he needs it.
Yeah, the change of direction and change of pace is huge. We see like guys like Shea do
that's
that
a good
lot,
one.
and Fox. And so I just, I think he has a lot of good in him. He's not going to be like the craziest athlete in the world or the best scorer in the world. I think he has enough that he's going to be an offensive engine for years.
I think he could be the best player on a championship team. He's averaging 25.5 points per game.
That's a jump.
15th in the league, 9.5 assists, third. But yeah, I think he's just like makes everyone around him better, similar to like a James Harden, and he just makes winning plays. Like he just makes the right play, even though he's not as dynamic, athletically like crazy. He just scores and he just gets buckets for other people. I don't know. He's one of my favorite players to watch. So maybe it's just bias more than anything, but I think the Pistons have a really bright future.
Yeah, I like it. So 7.
Your 6 is the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 6 is the Bucks. Let's go 7.
So my 7 is the Orlando Magic.
Okay, I got the Orlando Magic there too.
Yeah, you dive into it.
Yeah, so Orlando Magic has had a weird season. They were 3rd seed, 4th seed, maybe even 2nd seed. Like they were pretty high up for a bit. And then
I'll look it up on you.
They had the Paulo injury, but Franz was doing amazing to Paulo when Paul was injured, and then Franz was injured. So there's just been a lot of injuries that's kind of like sunk their season.
Yeah, they were the 5 seed last year.
But this year they're up in like the 4-3 when they're like at their peak this season.
Yeah.
But yeah, Franz and Paulo just look so good. Like they both look like amazing offensive engines, offensive scorers. Franz 25 points per game, Paulo 22. They just get buckets. And so I'm really excited for this future. Maybe this year it's not going to be perfect because of the injuries. They're still figuring things out together. They're not perfectly like they're not perfectly melding together.
They need more shooting. They kind of occupy similar spaces of the court.
Yeah.
So I like it kind of reminds you of the Boston Celtics when they were younger. The Brown Tatum fit.
Okay, yeah.
They didn't always like fit well together. People wondered if they could win together. I could see there being a trade there, like a Wagner trade here in a couple years, but I like it. I think they should stick with it. I think this is going to be a good pairing, and I think Paulo is legit.
Yeah. Paulo is like the first round pick that's never talked about. Yeah. Like you're always like
first overall.
That's what I'm going to say. First overall. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, Wemby, Cade Cunningham. They talk about all the first round picks, Anthony Edwards. And then, like, no one talks about Paulo. It's just like he's, like, the weird cousin in the corner. And they're like, we're not going to worry about him. But for some reason, that cousin is, like, cooking up a multi-million-dollar business.
True.
And all the family, when it's down the road and they're, like, all poor, they're going to be, like, come to this cousin, like, please give us your money. They're like, nah, you rejected me. That's
so
me,
what
Paulo.
is Ricochet?
Ricochet, he's, like, the cousin who... I don't know. I mean, Ricochet looks pretty mid.
He's like your weird uncle.
He's like my weird uncle. But you know, weird uncle could, I guess, go to therapy, figure it out his life, maybe get a wife that lasts.
He has time.
You know, like a
little bit of time.
We don't know. Yeah, he doesn't look great this year, but he's young.
Yeah.
So he's like my weird uncle if uncle was still 18 and still had a chance to figure out his life. That's the mindset I've gone with.
Weird uncle that's somehow younger than you.
Yeah, it's a weird situation, which is what the Hawks are. So
I love it.
It checks out. But I really like that Celtics like comparison.
Yeah.
Like in the same way, Franz and Paulo are kind of like Jalen and Jason, as in like they don't fit together well right now, but give them some time. Because look what the Celtics did.
Oh, they
figured it out.
They're really young.
These two players are good enough. They're going to figure it out.
They're going to figure it out.
Do you have any other thoughts about the Magic?
No, I love the defense. I think offensively, it's a mess. They're like the worst offense right now. And so, yeah, I think there needs to be a move. I don't know if that's a Suggs move.
I like Suggs.
I do too. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what the move is.
You need 3-point shooting. They have no 3-point shooting.
You need spacing. They have Caldwell Pope, but
he's not enough on his own. He's the only guy that provides spacing.
You need Beccaro and Wagner to start shooting the 3 better. You need Suggs to start shooting the 3 better.
Yeah, they're 29th in offensive efficiency.
Ugh.
Yeah, if Suggs doesn't start shooting the three better, like he's a tradable guy. Like his defense is so good. I love watching him and his effort and his intensity.
He kind of reminds me of like Holiday a little bit.
Yeah, and Holiday figured out his three kind of in the Bucks era for a bit. Now he's back down to not shooting quite as well in the Celtics.
Sure.
But like for a bit on the Bucks and even kind of first year with the Celtics, like he could hit a three, pretty consistently. Yeah. So I can see if Suggs molds into that, then they can keep going. Is this just the Boston Celtics but younger? Because right now we're just comparing them to all the Celtics.
Not as much money.
Yeah, just Celtics, but like in Orlando. And
I guess Suggs is their Marcus Smart.
Ooh, actually, that could be a good comparison. So he's going to get traded soon. Tough.
Tough.
Oh, well. It's for a championship.
He's got a couple playoff runs in him where he falls short, and, it'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be fun. They'll look at Kyrie somehow or some controversial player.
And then he'll get dumped at the trade deadline.
Who's the controversial, like, young guard they're going to get? I'm trying to, or like older, because he's old. They'd be older than Paul in front. You know who would be? Trae Young kind of fits that. Like, he's not as controversial, but he's kind of older.
Young would be just such a weird fit.
Yeah, but Kyrie wasn't a weird fit. He just did weird things.
If Cunningham was on the Magic.
No, this that's ideal. But this is not my ideal fit. This is like the Kyrie to the Celtics thing.
Okay.
Like Young would be the Kyrie to the Celtics, where it just doesn't work out and people are hyped up about it. Because they went to like the conference finals with that a bunch.
Wait, hold on. I need to think about this because the dynamic there was Kyrie wanted to be the dude.
Yeah.
And, actually I like this conversation because the Celtics, like their original like design of their team was a Kyrie AD team.
Was it?
Yeah, because they were trying to trade for AD.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't remember that. Dang.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Brown was actually in that deal.
Probably was. He was in every deal back in the day.
But yeah, I don't know who the guard would be.
Yeah.
It would be a guard looking, maybe it's Maxey. Like Maxey's like, I want to get out on my own and be the guy.
No, he would fit so well and they'd cook.
Yeah, they would cook.
but maybe Maxey learned from Joel Embiid to be a diva. And so he's like, he comes in there and pulls a Kyrie.
Like LaMelo.
He would be like that Kyrie where he'd come in and just be like, be fun and everything. But then in the playoffs, just like
the weirdest fit.
Be weird.
Maybe it is Young. Maybe you're right. Maybe Young is that kind of Kyrie-ish kind of a guy. But he doesn't have, he's had some playoff moments.
Let's go to our 8. Who do you got at the 8?
Oh, did we?
You got 7 was your Magic. Magic was 7 for both of us.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My 8, I'm going to go with the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I'm at the same spot. We're just copying each other at this point.
Yeah, so I think they got better. Lack of Butler. They traded the nothingness that was Jimmy Butler for them for Andrew Wiggins plus some.
Yeah.
Like Andrew Wiggins, I think he fits well. Gives them some wing defense that they were kind of needing. I like the lineup: Hero, Wiggins, Bam, and Khalil Ware. I think that's a pretty good lineup. There's shooting there. There's defense.
Yeah.
I think they have a winner, man. I don't think they're necessarily making the conference title, but hey, if you told me they won a round out of the 8 seed or the 7 seed,
they can make it interesting with the Cavs. The Cavs could maybe struggle a bit.
Bill Simmons is a huge Celtics fan. He's like, I'm super scared of the Heat.
Yeah, no, the Heat would be a scary team. Tyler Hero can go off. What's his face? Wiggins, like he's a poor man's Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
But he's
some of the same stuff.
But he's playing. Bam is great defensively.
Sure.
Duncan can shoot the ball. Hawkes can do some stuff. So you have some players that can do some stuff. So they'd be a tough out in the playoffs. I just think they're going to be out first round. But they'd be a tough out though.
Yeah, tough out. You don't want to see them. So that brings us to our 9.
Yeah, I got the Sixers here.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, I think the Sixers, while they've had all the injuries and they're 5 games behind the Hawks, which are my 10 seed.
It's a lot,
but Paul George is healthy for the moment. Tyrese Maxey's been healthy most of the season, and apparently Joel Embiid's becoming more healthy. And so once the 3 together, I don't think they're a championship 3 because Paul George is just like doo-doo now, like complete doo-doo.
Well, I think it's over for Embiid.
And I think Embiid's probably going to be out of there soon. I still think they'll win enough games to get to the 9 seed.
I like it.
And I think they'll probably actually, if I took between them and the Heat, I'd probably take them out of the play-in. I just think they're a first-round exit team. Like, easy.
Well, yeah. One of these days, Embiid. Well, Zach Lowe always used to say, I love Zach Lowe.
Yeah, bro.
Rip my guy.
Why is this podcast gone? Like, everyone misses it. Well, he got cut from ESPN. But, like, figure out a way to bring it back.
Okay, side note, after the Luka trade, he showed up on a random, like, YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Called, like, Obama something. And, he dropped like a 35-minute podcast just about the Lakers.
Dang, I haven't watched that yet.
I was like, oh, I miss you so much, Zach Lowe.
Yeah, I heard he basically can't use his name or something because almost like he can't use the Zach Lowe show because it's like ESPN
the
show.
low post.
Yeah, the low post.
Oh man,
like
that's
there's some restrictions somewhere, and that's why he's not like releasing anything. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. I'm not a legal guy, but at least can't use the low post.
Yeah, so what was I saying? Oh, he was big on Embiid, that Embiid's going to have this moment that where he makes a finals run and he wins it, and this is his legacy, and this is what he has to stand on, and that's where the statue's going to be built, and
yeah.
I don't think it's coming.
Not in Philadelphia, and I don't think anywhere.
Yeah, I it's kind of unfortunate, but happens.
I think he's maybe not this summer, but I think the summer after that, he's a trade guy.
Well, I think there's a chance he becomes untradeable.
Yeah, because his injury. I don't think he's untradeable, but it's going to be an awkward situation similar to, it's not going to be like a Jimmy, but where it's like the leverage is not as much as you want.
If you were the Lakers, would you trade for him?
Well, it depends what I'm giving up, but yeah, immediately. You have LeBron, Luka, and Embiid, you're running the NBA.
Well, okay, so 76ers call, they say Embiid for LeBron.
I would take it.
Yeah?
I would take it right now.
Even with the 3 more years on the Embiid deal?
Even with the injuries, like LeBron is... Okay, let's say LeBron has 3 more years. Like, I'm going to say, like, I don't know if he does.
So he's waiting for Bryce.
Yeah, let's say he's waiting for Bryce. He has 3 more years.
Or does he come out of retirement to play with Bryce?
I could see that. Pull a Tom Brady. With 3 more... Like, 3 years down the line, like, I think LeBron is going to be LeBron. He's going to be good. But he's going to be old. He's going to be slow. Defense is going to be awful.
I think he retires next year.
Likelihood. And so, like, even if he's, like, retiring next year, like, Joel Embiid, even though he's injured, there's it feels like a risk, yes. It could be a bad contract. But if Joel Embiid and Luka are on the same court, there's no one stopping them.
Okay.
And so, like, I think it's worth the risk, even with the injuries.
So, okay. Clippers call 76ers, and they say, hey, Kawhi for Embiid. It's like Kawhi and Zubac for Embiid plus whatever. What do they say?
The 76ers?
Yeah. Let's say it's Embiid and Yabusele for Kawhi and Zubac.
I'm not taking that from the 76ers.
Okay.
Well, what's Kawhi's contract? It'd be like you're trying to dump because Kawhi is even more injury prone than Embiid. Like, that guy's not even playing at all.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what the line is. Like, what's the no? Where's the no at?
For like a team wanting Embiid?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out what is his trade value. Okay, what about KD for Embiid?
I don't know. Like, those trades are just wacky because I feel like you're trading an injury player for an injured player.
Yeah, you are.
And if I'm the 76ers, if I'm trading away Embiid, I am breaking, like, not completely breaking down, but I'm getting younger players to build around Maxey.
Yeah, you want parts.
So I just, like, why would I take Kevin Durant? Like, I mean, yeah, he's going to be more healthy, but he's gone in 30 years at max. And so the only reason 76ers trade Embiid is they're like, we're going to get way younger.
Okay.
And the teams that want Embiid are teams that are, like, 1 star away.
The Rockets.
So, like, the Rockets, I wouldn't because it's just a different timeline. It's a different timeline star.
Any fan of any team would be like, no, please no. What about the Pistons?
Once again, a different timeline. Like, so, for example, let's say if the Suns could trade for Embiid without giving up KD or Booker, which I don't think could happen, then that's a team that I would think I would take it. Like, they're an older team, injury-prone team. We're not doing anything anyway, so let's just take on one injury-prone guy and hope it works out.
What about Butler plus picks for Embiid?
Send him over to the Heat?
No. Send him to the Warriors.
Oh, Warriors. Yeah, Warriors, I'd take that trade because you give Steph Curry, like, maybe he doesn't play, but that's Steph Curry's best last chance.
That'd be interesting, actually.
I feel like it'd be an interesting deal if they're healthy.
Maybe it's Green plus whatever.
That'd be crazy. But I think if they want to get, once again, I'm wanting to get young. I think you get Kuminga, Moody, even though I think they're overrated, and a bunch of picks.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, so
we're at their 10 seed. Unless you have anything more about the Sixers.
Nope, I love the Sixers. Let's do it. Sixers at 9. 10, I'm going to go with the Hawks.
Yeah, I'm saying the Hawks here.
So I think it's a slide. I think the Bulls fall out.
Yeah.
And I think the Hawks just win too much. They have nothing to lose for.
Yeah.
So.
They lost DeAndre Hunter, so I think that's going to... Like, they still have Jalen Johnson. They still have Dyson Daniels. Great fits around Trey. I think that DeAndre Hunter loss is going to be big and kind of maybe demoralizing for Trey a little bit.
Also, Johnson's
so good.
Yeah.
He's so good, and I love him. And I love Dyson Daniels.
But he's out for the year, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about he's out for the year.
So.
Oh, yeah, they're cooked. My bad.
Well, but the Bulls.
They'll still get the 10 seed because they have Trey. They have Dyson Daniels. It's just with those injuries plus DeAndre Hunter out.
He's going to be shooting 14 threes a game.
And Trey's probably going to be like, dang, do I really want to be on this team anymore? He's probably be like, some teams are looking nice. What if I go to the Magic? What if I go to the Pistons? Oh, Pistons doesn't make sense. But
I think Trey's a little overrated.
He probably is, but at some point I think he's going to be tired of the Hawks because the Hawks have given him nothing. Let's be honest.
Like, well, no, he made a conference title or
by him. He took them on his back and said, "I got you, boys."
He said, "We're going whether you want to or not."
Yeah, like he just basically kidnapped them. He's like, "I'm taking you here."
Who was on that team? Was that John Collins?
Yeah, John Collins was the second best player.
Dang,
like
that's crazy.
They've given him nothing, I think.
Yeah, and
so yes, he's very inefficient in some areas and efficient in others.
Crazy passer.
Let me look at the team. There's Clint Capella, John Collins, Gallinari. I'm not gonna say his first name. Kevin Huerter.
Huerter was pretty good.
Lou Williams. Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Okay.
That was kind of like there's no second star there at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we can't quite judge Trae Young. Because with what he's been given, he's been mid a lot. But the fact that he even made a conference finals is kind of incredible.
Yeah, it is. So that's our 10.
That's our 10.
Okay. So do you want to pick a winner for the conference?
Yeah. In my conference championship, I think I'm going to take the Cavs and the Celtics. Okay. It's a chalk answer, but those teams have just been so good. Like, cool. I can't go any other way. I don't think the Knicks are good enough. I don't think the Pacers, the Bucks are good enough. Maybe the Bucks can give one of them run for the money with Giannis, with Dame.
Sure.
You know what? I'm taking the Cavs.
Okay.
I'm making it a little interesting.
I like it.
My thoughts before this was like, I'm going to take Celtics all the way.
Uh-huh.
But I'm believing. I'm on the train. I'm on the Cavs train.
Okay.
I love Evan Mobley. We're riding that trade all the way.
I like it. So I'm going to take Cavs. We had them at the 1 seed versus the Boston Celtics. I think the Celtics just have more lineups that they can throw at them.
Yeah.
And more shooting. So I'm going to take the Celtics. I'm going to take them in 6.
Okay. I'm going to take the Cavs in 7. And I just like the rim protecting bigs.
Yeah.
Because, you have those big wings like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. But with those, like, with Jared Allen, with Evan Mobley, you can't really score inside very well. So they're going to have to beat them on the perimeter, which they can do.
They can do that.
But it's really going to limit their offense a bit. And I think that gives Cavs over the hump. And also, I'm just feeling the Cavs right now. I'm feeling the vibes. I've been looking at their stats, looking at their roster. I'm all for the Cavs. I love watching them. Maybe it's selfish, but I want them to go to the finals.
Hey, amen, brother. So I got Celtics. You got Cavs.
Yeah.
We're gonna wait to do the West for next week or our next show.
Yeah, next NBA show, we'll break down our West picks. And then we'll pick a champion. I'm excited to see what you pick.
Champion. Maybe some MVP. Maybe some.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. See what's going on in the news. But yeah, next episode, stay tuned. I think the West is going to be super interesting.
Yeah.
To look at the play-in. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Later this week, we got an NFL podcast coming. I'm assuming all things Super Bowl.
Yeah, Chris and Samuel got to be cooking.
Yeah, maybe looking at some coaching hires. Shoot, man, like, subscribe to the Career Backups podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Be checking, click the notifications, like, share everywhere that you find your podcast. You got anything to say?
Hey, we cooked.
We cooked.
It was
man.
a fun time. Thank you guys for listening. And I'm all on the Cavs, bro. They're gonna go all the way. They're gonna go all the way.
Let's go Spurs. Hey, love y'all. See y'all later.
Kiss.